Hello, in this video we are talking about how to make parametric buildings and shapes using certain tools in 3ds Max. So first in create panel we go to spline and then rectangle and give the certain length and width as we need for the building or shape, and then normalize the spline with that command. In this command it helps us control nodes and add more vertices in the shape so that when we extrude it into model we have more control over each lines and segments, so we have more options. So when next you extrude, then you give the certain amount of height, and then you can have cap selection on or off to based on how hollow or solid you want. With more segments you can give the feel of a floor heights, and then after this you go to edit poly to control vertices, edges, border or polygon, and even the whole element. So we'll be dealing with mostly with faces. So for every face and edge you have different settings in the parameters. If you go to points, you get to select like this and move around in the axis. If you select faces, similarly you move along in different axes, push around, you make hollow space. So once you select and push it in the arrow, to make it hollow you select the arrow and then shift and then push it back. Select the face, control and push it down. So like this, by selecting different faces, let's try to make different openings and shapes to create a dynamic form. To create or to select two different faces at a time, select control and select the faces that you want to select. And now let's connect two faces in between to sort of create a bridge. Control, select faces, and in edit poly go to the command bridge, and then it automatically gives you and takes you to certain parameters where you can give different values for twist command or for the thickness and to smoothen the twist effect. So like this you can control or explore the different forms of it. So let's try to make the same kind of bridge form with different opening spaces throughout the building. Now let's add more faces in this gap. So you can select edge with the selection tool, select control and select two tools at a time, two edges at a time, and instead of bridge now you go to connect. So two edges are now connected with one or two or whatever valued face that you give. So you select the edges and then go to connect and increase the value here, and then it creates more faces. So select the edges, connect, increase the faces, and it's done. So the minute you keep editing it, you still have an option to keep modifying the model. The software recognizes your previous commands and still lets you alter or do more iterations with different selection tools like edges or points or faces. You can keep editing it even though you've already made different changes. Just try to make more dynamic safe surfaces. Now this horizontal and vertical selection doesn't really go well. That's why the iteration looks like this. So one is horizontal and one is vertical. So that's very odd. So it's not really looking good. So let's try to make it go down and make the gap a little more evident. Now let's add more faces here. Select the edge and connect. Select, connect. Again, select the edges and connect. Now you have multiple faces, multiple tiny faces, not just one big surface. So like this, you select multiple surface now and then bridge. Sorry, not like that. First surface, second surface, and bridge. Now it takes the previous command by default. You can still alter the values for each and every parameter. So let's try to alter a smaller values. Yeah, because of the bridge width too much was there, so it was coming way out of the building. Now if you control it and bring it either less or more, you keep exploring it and see which looks better and which looks right, and then give that particular value. Now this is fine. Let's connect it more, give the bridge effect, make it more smoother. I think this should be fine. Now this does look fine. To make it more soft edged and corners, we have to use just one command, which is turbo surface, turbo smooth, where once you click that, it automatically curves and makes the surface more smoother. And you can still go back to your extrude. Just select on that and increase your width and segment and amount. You can still keep playing around that. It will not forget the overdone commands. So that's how you can keep editing your iterations even though you've done the model. So with turbo smooth, you soften the overall building, and this is how you make parametric forms. Thank you.